What's up, everybody? We are here for a quick update on the Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell case. We've been trying to figure out whether or not these cases are going to be severed. The judge keeps telling us the answer is going to be no, but a big wrench that was thrown into this plan was Lori's competence. It is at issue again. Is she competent? Is she fit to stand trial? How will that affect the potential severance? We had some potential compromises proposed as having one trial with two juries, which we on this channel thought was a pretty good compromise. Well, another step is taken in the direction of getting this case to trial, which we do not have a trial date yet for. So that's saying something. Thanks for joining in with us. My name is Peter Tragos, the lawyer you know, and we break down cases on this channel and react to try to understand the process a little bit better, mostly in the form of answering your questions. So thanks for joining me on this video today. It is day 2 of Darrell Brooks' sentencing, so most of you are probably watching that right now, but come join me tonight, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, to react, recap, and answer your questions on the Darrell Brooks sentencing. But for now, let's get to the order that was entered today in the Lori Vallow Chad Daybell case. On this date, the court issued its sealed findings of fact, meaning we will not know the findings of fact. We will not know what happened in this hearing. That is not at all unusual in competency hearing dealing with medical records. A memo and order subsequent to a competency hearing conducted a week ago on November 9th, the court has now determined that defendant Lori Noreen Vallow Daybell is competent, and therefore fit to proceed to trial. Therefore, October 6, 2022, that order, which stayed the case, meaning paused this entire case, is hereby lifted. And the court will reschedule trial in this case. The stay is over. We are no longer paused. We are no longer stopped. We can continue moving forward. Maybe this was an indication as to why Lori's attorneys were at the Daybell motion to sever the trials. The hearing that was on that, they were there. Maybe this should have told us that she is competent in aiding in her defense. Yet we were still under the impression that this October 6th order staying the case was in place, and it was until yesterday, November 15th, when this order came through. The court finds that the findings of fact, the memo, and the order references information that is expressly exempt from public disclosure. Accordingly, the court determines that the sealing is necessary in order to preserve the parties' rights to a fair trial and no broader than necessary to protect this fundamental right, meaning the public should not get to see this. It could affect the fair trial. There are privacy rights at issue here for Lori Vallow. Therefore, it's sealed. It's going to stay sealed. We will probably never see what happens in here. And it's not just the findings of fact, but it's also the memos that each side wrote. And to me, this indicates that there was no mental health expert or doctor that said Lori Vallow is incompetent, because usually you err on the side of not finding them competent if there is an issue. Well, this order tells me that there was no real evidence to show that she was not competent, which then that begs the question, why did they have to pause this case? Why did they have to do these evaluations? Why did they have to do all this again in the middle of this case and cause another delay for the victims and their families to have to deal with? Why did we have to do this? And we will probably never know because it's all under seal. But I think we just have to trust the process that there was some indication that maybe she's not competent. Well, we've gotten it all checked out. Turns out she is competent. So I expect we'll get a date soon, a case management order soon, or a case management conference to set the next trial date, and the judge will make a decision as to whether or not to sever these cases. I feel very strongly that the judge is not going to sever these cases. I think there's some good arguments to sever them. I don't think the judge is going to do it. He hasn't done it all along. This was the biggest reason why, if this case was going to continue to be stayed and Lori Vallow was incompetent, I think that was Chad Daybell's best chance to get a severance. But maybe the judge will order 2 juries. That seems like a fair compromise. So we'll keep following this. We'll see when the next trial date is. I think Daybell wanted it to be the fall of 2023. So that's where we should keep our eye on, kind of where I would guess if I had to guess. I don't really know, but if I had to guess, it's probably somewhere around mid to late 2023 that we think we might see this case go to trial without cameras at this point, which is unfortunate. But Chad Daybell wants cameras, so we'll see if he keeps pushing forward and could change the judge's mind. But for now, that's all we've got. Thanks for joining me. Make sure you check us out tonight, 8:30, back on the page to answer questions about the Darrell Brooks sentencing. Hit that like button on this video on your way out. And if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button as well.